of the coalition of democratic change. On December 8th, one of us will leave this position. I will defeat the law. The law, if I don't defeat you, let me resign as chairman of the CDC on December 8th.
K News comes to you from the News and Current Affairs Department of Kool 91.9. You can listen to K News at 6 a.m., 2 p.m., and 6 p.m. every weekdays as we bring to you your news makers. K News. K News. Get all of the latest in the world of news.
Good morning, Pleasant. Welcome to K News at 6:45 minutes of news, breaking the actual voices of the news maker. My name is Siaway, Miapue, reporting. The House of Representatives has mandated its committees on investment and agriculture to review and make a report to plenary in an integrated fisheries sector strengthening project, a financing agreement between the OPEC Fund for International Development and the Republic of Liberia. The plenary's decision followed communication from President George Weah urging that August ballot to ratify the bill. The project, which was signed on October 26, has approved for the country a loan of $20 million and a grant in the amount of $240,000. According to the Liberian leader, the project aims to improve fisheries management while enhancing the livelihood and income of project beneficiaries. President Weah also stated that the amount previously ratified by the legislature remains the same with the same financing agreement, but there are changes in the start date of repayment by 1 year from October 15, 2027 to September 15, 2028. Meanwhile, the communication has been forwarded to the Committees on Investment and Agriculture to report next week. Several citizens, including dignitaries from various non-governmental organizations, the disabled community, the religious community, guests from the U.S. Embassy near Monrovia on Tuesday joined Ambassador Joseph Boakai to celebrate his first birthday as president-elect of Liberia. Thus, the celebration marks the 79th birth anniversary of Ambassador Joseph Boakai. In his opening remarks, United Party National Chairman Reverend Luther Tappet extended birthday wishes to the former Vice President and now President-elect, emphasizing that the celebration also represents a rebirth of the country. Tappet's statement was echoed by the youth cheered of the United Party, expressing birthday wishes and emphasizing the symbolic importance of this day for the nation.
Of the Unity Party in Liberia and all of our partisans home and abroad, we reach our standard bearer, the newly elected president who's going to take office of the affairs of Liberia next year. Sir, I want to say happy birthday to you. Today is not just a birthday, but it's a birth of a new country. So the whole country share in your birthday and the joy. And we wish you all the very best. Yes. We wish you God's strength. We wish you God's wisdom. We wish you God's blessing as you will be entrusted with the country on January 22nd. As you lead our country, may this Joseph be our Joseph in our own generation and lead our nation to prosperity. Happy birthday to you, sir.
He is Reverend Luther Tappet, President-elect Boakai, in response to the heartfelt remarks expressed gratitude to all the guests, emphasizing his commitment to serve in Liberia without any intent to misuse or steal the nation's resources. He highlights his vision to rescue the country, provide hope to the youth, and restore dignity to womanhood once he assumes the presidency in 2024.
I am not here for presidency. Mission to rescue our country. I am here to give hope to our young people. Here to put dignity on our womanhood. I am here to serve the area. So I want to say to those of you who are us, who are working the trenches, and I want to appeal to you. No reason all these people would love on you just to make you happy. That's not what we're here for. For all of you. But I'm committed. God has given us is bleeding. Not because but because we are under obligation to give hope to people. Today I see all of you. This morning we went to launch the cleaning of the Liberians all over in the diaspora want to come home. People come home, they want to go to their homes, they stop in Monrovia because there are no roads. Liberians have become beggars. Liberians, spectators. And God has said to me, we have to bring prosperity to our country. So I'm not here to celebrate birthday or thing. I'm here to say to all of us, let us see the situation of our country. God has given me this time. If anybody think that Joe Boca is in this thing and he will die tomorrow or day after, you're making a mistake. I have a mission. I have a divine assignment. I have a divine assignment to give leadership that had never been seen before in this country. Leadership by example. Leadership that will provide opportunity for our people. And I'm saying that before God Almighty, here, I want to say to all of us, this is a new beginning for our country. You can tell by the number of calls, the number of embassies, the number of interests that are being expressed in investing in this country so far, the number of opportunities. I am not in this for anything except that we want to make Liberia proud. And I want to thank all of you. I want to thank all of you with all of the goodwill.
President-elect Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boaka there addressing scores of supporters and those who went to celebrate with him at his birthday. Nima County Senator Jeremiah Bankon is the vice president-elect, and this is what he has to say.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to start by saying we wish you God's blessing and we wish you God's protection and wisdom to lead our nation. I want to say thanks to all of you, our mothers here, the young people, the party leaders, the media people, the Unity Party people, the Alliance, and every one of you. We want to say thank you to you. Thanks for coming. And may God guide our country, and may God guide our leader, and bless our leader with wisdom to lead our country that we all will follow. Thank you. God bless you. And thank you.
Meanwhile, President-elect Joseph Boakai is expected to depart Liberia this Friday for the United States of America and has appointed Vice President-elect Jeremiah Kool to conduct the affairs of the joint presidential transition team. The announcement comes amid ongoing preparation for the inauguration slated for January 2024. The office statement said while in the U.S., Ambassador Boakai will hold consultations with stakeholders in the political process of Liberia, including the Unity Party in America and Canada, to thank them for their support given to UP in the elections. The release also added that the president-elect is expected to pay a visit to close family members while in the United States. Liberia's leading advocacy group, Need More Partners for Democratic Development, through its executive director, has unveiled a report of campaign promises made by the Unity Party during the 2023 general elections. According to Eddie Jawolo, the institution documented 93 promises made by UP headed by President-elect Joseph Boakai, who secured victory with 50.64% as announced by the National Elections Commission. The promises were tracked from the winning party's manifesto, including its campaign rallies, media engagements, and public statement aimed at developing Liberia.
The manifesto outlines 6 different pillars with specific commitment in for Liberia development. Under Pillar 1, macroeconomic stability and infrastructure development, a total of 58 promises were identified and documented under this promise. Promises came from first economic aspects, with 8 promises tracked under the economic aspect of the government. Financial management, 10 promises were tracked. Agriculture, 12 promises were tracked. Natural resource government, 3 promises tracked. Job creation, 6 promises. The commerce and industry, 2 promises. Infrastructure development, 5. Transportation, 4 promises. Information technology, 3 promises. Culture and tourism, 5 promises under Pillar 1. Under Pillar 2, how to do with health, wash, environment, and climate change. Under this Pillar 2, 9 promises were tracked. Focusing on health, 6 promises. Water, sanitation, hygiene, 1. Environmental and climate change, 2 promises. Under Pillar 3, human resource development, 7 promises were tracked. These promises focus mainly on education. Under Pillar 4, governance and rule of law, 7 promises were tracked. Emphasizing foreign relations, 1. Security, 1. Rule of law, 1. Accountability, 2. Governance and transparency, 2. Reconciliation, 1. Under Pillar 5, gender, youth, children, and social protection, 8 promises were identified and tracked. We focus on gender, 1. Social protection, 2. Youth empowerment, 5 promises were.
In the fight against corruption, which falls on a pillar, says 4 promises were documented. Meanwhile, the institution, through its boss, is urging President-elect and his team to fulfill the commitments made during the campaign. According to him, NIMOT will commence tracking the government's performance against these promises for the next 6 years.
The fight against corruption. 4 promises were documented and tracked. Among the multiple of promises tracked, few were highlighted in the press statement. Our first is the reform tax administration policy, or target on a physical incentive for agriculture and light manufacturing, implementation of treasury single account, introduction of program budgeting, roadmap to de-dollarization of the Liberian economy, access declaration of the president and all appointed officials, audit ongoing government officials, among many. So, like we always doing, we did it under the president, we are government. Campaign promises or election promises form a social contract between citizen and the candidate. The election of President Joseph Jomo Boakai placed an obligation to ensure that the commitment he made during the campaign period and post-election promises will be tracked, and he should be able to adhere to those promises. NEMO will continue to track the government performance against the promises made in the next 6 years, and will also be tracking additional promises that were made after the election. We also want to inform the Liberian people that United Party developed several action points and strategy to implement the promises. We make it very easy to track. We invite citizens, civil society organizations, the media to actively participate in this initiative. It is a collective responsibility to ensure that political campaign promises translate into tangible action that positively impact the life of Liberian people.
Eddie Jaulo is the executive director of NEMO Partners for Democratic Development. There, unveiling campaign promises made by the Unity Party of President-elect Joseph Boakai and Vice President-elect Jeremiah Wankong. If you're just joining us, it is a reminder that you're listening to Key News. It is a 45 minutes of news, bringing you the actual voices of the news maker. We are also live online at www.knewsonline.com. This broadcast is also being relayed on several frequencies across the country, including Liberty Broadcasting Services 105.5 in Greenville, Radio Kakata 107.7, The Voice of Plebo 93.5, The Voice of Jida 88.5. And now, in more development this morning on our news presentation, where with a tour toward the Liberian legislature, where the Senate pro tem of the Liberian Senate has constituted a 3-member subcommittee headed by Sano County Senator Augustine Chie to engage education stakeholders to analyze the fiscal space to help senators make informed decisions during the passage of the free tuition policy into law. The subcommittee is expected to report to the August body on Tuesday, December 7. The decision of the committee as a whole was as a result of a heated debate in the chambers of the Liberian Senate that since the instrument was passed by the House of Representatives on March 2, 2021, it continued to suffer setbacks in the committee room for 3 years. The bill is sponsored by Maxwell County Senator Sir Joseph. Albert Chie is the pro tem of the Liberian Senate, and this is what he has to say during the argument.
Let me point out that once again this bill has been committee rule since March 2021, and it has been raised on the floor over for their reports. This is not the first time that we are rushing it, but we have to take action on the bill. We have retrieved it, we have to call it from committee room, full committee of the whole. For us, we could conclude people engagement. That's my thought, or I have a different approach. My approach is I will set up a subcommittee that will seek the information and report to plenary to the committee of the whole on Tuesday. Then we conclude the debate and vote.
So when you see the information the weekend?
So the information will get information. As we said, the Minister of Finance has been here already and provided information. All of the year provided information. So the committee will dig out that information for us and vote on Tuesday. And the committee will consist of Senator Chair as the chair. Senator Taylor as Senator Brown as member.
No way. Okay.
The heated debate witnessed mixed views on the floor of the Liberian Senate. Senators, including Samuel Taylor of Green Cape Mount County, Joseph Jolov Lofa, Blabo Brown of Maryland, Augustine Shea, of Sano and Senator Ibrahim Darius DeLong as some of the senators in support of the passage of the bill. Here is a highlight from Thursday's sitting at the Liberian Senate.
The only way we will attempt to cancel is when the budget comes before us and remove that money from how will we get the money? And how what we need to do? So I agree with I agree with that as much as this is an important bill, there's no law required for opposing. Once it is comprehensively done, even our international partners, we think we are serious. It's better than for it to be President Waga's policy that he alone will take glory for, or for President Wia's policy that he alone will take glory for. Let it be a law, we support it, but the law must be passed on the basis of informed decision making. There must be analysis. We must pass the law and show. We must pass the law and I can say, you know what happened?
Article 4 to Article 10. There are principles within those articles that say there are certain things. Let me say the one, let me just take the one that education. The one that deals with education says the Republic shall, because of the vital role assigned to the individual citizen under the Constitution of the socio-economic and political well-being of Liberia, provide equal access to educational opportunities and facilities for all citizens. Can you legislate this?
Yes.
Yes.
So it's a lesson for us.
You got endowed with wisdom, people out there.
But of course, you see, the reason why
Wisdom on the overhead.
The reason why every 9 years, 2 or 3 senators return, the rest is keeping out. Because we don't want to be interested to us. Those of us who are coming now, we should be mindful. My advice to you all, let us pause this bill. Though it's in the interest of the country, the students, but why was it not put in the budget before? The man is going now. You will feel away. Then you want to pass it, you want to pass it.
Members of the Liberian Senate, and that's highlight from the Liberian Senate as it relates to the free tuition policy in Manitoba in Daladenica development. Let's now take a look at some of your reactions this morning. Those of you following us live, you can keep your reactions, you can, just inbox your reactions or leave your reactions on our live feed this morning, and it's definitely going to be read as well. This one says, Sylvester W. Babu Junior Jones, he has his own comment there as well. And this one says, good morning, the nation biggest platform. That's what the caller said, that's his opinion. He said, good morning, the nation biggest platform, Kool, and good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia. I'm following from my usual community, Coca-Cola Factory. Thanks so kindly for the update. Thank you for your opinion. And to this one, shortly, this one says, let me see. Good morning, Kool News. I'm following from Dupert Rose over town. Long live our President-elect Joseph Human Boyka Sr. Thanks for giving the people hope. Making Liberia proud again is your first objective. Eton Papi Gray Jones this morning. And this one coming also says, good morning, brother. Thanks for the update this morning. I'm watching you this morning from Kospon. Which community they call Kospon? I've not been there. This is that JMV speaks. If anybody is seeing this thing, thinking that Joseph Boyga will like, I don't want to say, you are fooling yourself. I hope you are just listening to happy birthday to President-elect Joseph Yoman Boakai. It says this from Bati says. So keep your reactions coming and trust this they're going to be given consideration this morning on our news presentation with me, Siaway, Miapue. And now in more development with a tour there at the Justice Ministry where Police Inspector General has testified in the knowledge receipt of a communication written by former Chief Justice Gloria Moses Scott complaining of several attacks on her life and property. Park Sulu was subpoenaed by Criminal Court A. Judge Roosevelt Welly to produce and testify to a communication written by Councilor Scott on April 25, as well as reports from February 8 and 9, 2023, attacks on co-defendant Scott's home. According to the RG, the LMP received a verbal complaint from the driver of the co-defendant on the 9th of February and moved immediately after receiving and said complaint. Mr. Sud noted that before the police could make a move to the home of the co-defendant Scott, she had already contaminated the crime scene by repairing a place which she alleged that the criminal used to enter her house. The police RG, among other things, noted that they conducted a risk assessment for the co-defendant and advised her to hire a private security at her home and also electrify the back of her house. He maintained that the police did not investigate a complaint that was filed by co-defendant Scott because the crime scene did not suggest that there was a crime committed. Stay at the court, Criminal Court A. Judge Roosevelt Welly has issued a writ of subpoena on the Monrovia City Mayor Jefferson Koji to produce Valley Tally, who is his employee to produce and testified his telephone number used between February 21 to the 25th of this year. The subpoena was issued based on the submission made by Defense Counsel on Thursday, November 30 to Judge Welly for Mayor Koji to produce his employee Valley Tally to testify to whom he called on February 21 and February 25 of this year. The court also issued a subpoena on Orange GSM Company to produce the call log for number 0777-142133 and also track the phone and its user. Judge Welly further issued on Orange GSM number 0776 011848 and Lone Star 0886 529330 and 0880898722 on grounds that the numbers were being used and owned by co-defendant Scott to state who is using the numbers. Meanwhile, Lone Star and Orange GSM companies, along with Monrovia City Mayor Jefferson Koji, are expected to appear in the open court on Monday, December 4, at 10 o'clock a.m. to testify in the ongoing murder case involving former Justice Scott. A demographic health survey conducted by the Ministry of Health has revealed that 30% of children under the age of 5 years are malnourished. The Director of Nutrition at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Anita Davis, disclosed that over 37,000 children under 5 are stunting and are experiencing malnutrition because of food insufficiencies. Dr. Davis made a disclosure when she delivered a keynote speech marking the opening of a 2-day training for stakeholders on nutrition, mapping data collection enumerators organized by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization in Monrovia.
According to our Demographic Health Survey report 2020 tells us that the stunting rate in Liberia now is 30%. That is telling us that over 27,000 of our under 5 are being malnourished, which is not good for the country because we all know the consequences of malnutrition. So even for the exclusive breastfeeding, we are at 55%. Then minimum dietary diversity, because we know after the exclusive breastfeeding, from birth to 6 months, from 6 months, you need to add other food to the breast milk. We are at 3%, which is very, 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 very low. And the malnutrition I cause in Liberia is multifactorial. There are many causes, ranging from the issue of food insecurity. Over 60% of our food that we eat is being imported. Then we talk about the teenage pregnancy, high teenage pregnancy. Over 32% of our teenagers are getting pregnant. Then the poor care and feeding practices for our children. We all know the window of opportunity to prevent malnutrition is the first 1,000 days. That is from birth to 2 years. And that is the time to really cater for the child. And in Liberia, the care and feeding practices is very poor. Can you imagine? Dietary diversity, 3%. You see? And poverty. We can just go on naming the causes of malnutrition in Liberia. So, this nutrition.
The training is facilitated by the International Nutrition Data Analyst, the analyst from the FAO headed the health phase in Rome, Italy, and is brought together data collectors from the 15 sub-political divisions of Liberia. Making remarks on behalf of the resident representative of the FAO, National Project Coordinator Emmanuel Cape reaffirmed the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization in reducing the high rate of malnutrition among children under 5 in the country.
On behalf of the FAO representation in Liberia and in the name of Madam Bensha Stephen Chakaya, FAO representative at interim in Liberia, I want to take this time to wholeheartedly welcome all of you to FAO Liberia and for your collective effort in ensuring that nutrition target indicators in Liberia are achieved. FAO representation in Liberia, our programming framework prioritizes nutrition as one of our key priorities for achieving our dreams in Liberia. To do that, our country programming framework greatly prioritizes nutrition as a core to achieving most of our programming in Liberia. There are key nutrition indicators that are supposed to be achieved, specifically looking at malnutrition to be reduced from 32% to somewhere around 22% by 2023. And I hope we're making some strides to achieve that. Beyond that, FAO 4 strategic priorities. As part of our strategic priority, our programming around the world, FAO has 4 strategic priorities. It's usually called the 4 betters. It's better production, better environment, better nutrition, leaving no one behind. I mean to say this, that nutrition is of paramount concern of our programming in Liberia. So it is against this backdrop that FAO, through the One UN Nutrition Coalition, that is through FAO,
the National Bureau of Veteran Affairs has expressed the veterans community's willingness to assist President-elect Joseph Boakai in implementing his plan to make Liberia food sufficient through agriculture. The Bureau's Deputy Director General for Veteran Affairs, Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Ule, on behalf of Major General Alexander Gio, the Acting Director General, said it is prepared to back the agriculture team and its many lands for achieving food security. Lieutenant Colonel Ule disclosed in a congratulatory message marking the birth anniversary of President-elect Joseph Boakai, calling to let the veteran affairs community around the country report its expertise at the disposal of the president-elect for infrastructural development by his manpower, most of whom are employed.
On behalf of my counterpart, Major Alexander Gio, the leadership of the veteran community, I'm appealing to all veterans across the land of birth of this country to put aside political differences, as the incoming president continues to say that there's no longer blue or green, but rather we should all consider ourselves as Liberians, because that's the common denominator. So I ask all veterans to join the leadership of this bureau and the veteran community for us to rally around the incoming, just as we did for the outgoing, to rally around the incoming administration of government, so that especially agriculture program and others can be successful, in addition to the other strategic programs that the government have to move our nation forward. So colleagues across the land and breadth of this country, I'm appealing to you to put aside every political difference, come together in unison so that we can work with our incoming Commander-in-Chief and his administration to move our nation forward. On behalf of the 16,000 plus veterans across the land and breadth of this nation, and it is our prayer that the Lord will continue to endow him with long life, and not only long life, but also with the strength and wisdom that will enable him to take our nation from where we are to where it is destined to go. And we are very happy on this day. We have organized them into an agricultural guild. We have been trying to avail our services. But now that he has come in and agriculture stands at the top of his program, I want to say in this form and manner that the veteran community is happy and fully prepared to make themselves available in any other way to serve as a strong arm for his agriculture program. We also have parcels of agricultural land, arable land in the various counties.
And now to this development on our news presentation this morning, where there's also speaking, it says, the Deputy Inspector General for Criminals Investigation, Prince Moba, said the efforts to apprehend the man, that's the leadership of the Executive Protection Service, they deny newspaper reports linking them to the management's alleged embezzlement or stealing of the EPS Employee Development Fund. EPS Director Chokan Roberts said the EPS Employees Development Fund was a financial scheme set by the service and women without the involvement of the leadership of the institution. Addressing a press conference in Monrovia, Director Roberts claimed that the case has been forwarded to the Liberian National Police for investigation.
There has been too much noise about the EPS Employee Development Fund. In the first place, this thing was organized sometimes June 2021. They have their set bylaws and constitution, and these laws state that the administration of the EPS has no direct impact on the day-to-day management of the funds. For somebody like me, that was unique. They have their signatories. The only way money got out of there, except one of those signatories had to do what they're supposed to do to get money out. So it went over some time. So one of these days, while in my office alone, before sparking out, I tested the mechanism of the drive, accredited. You know, when the kind of plenty of work, when you're in a position like this, the kind of things you gotta do. It didn't occur to me when I was finishing. And then one day I said, I called the head. I said, but man, what's going on? I get finished paying them money. He said, gee, you're feeling this month. I was annoyed with my very self in the first place for not checking. So it was not his fault as far as I'm concerned. He left. When he left, I thought about an audit. So we audited the group. When we audited the group, we realized, or the audit report revealed a lot of discrepancies that administration didn't know about. All of the stakeholders they didn't know about. We are all stakeholders because we call our money $20 every month. So I put a stop to any deduction for anybody's salary, collect the money in circle, and let's see the way forward. In fact, I don't want anybody cutting anybody money. Since this is the situation, the money that the group had collected was divided. That was 70% of the total sum was divided. I was away. I instructed them what to do with mine.
Chokon Roberts, the head of the EPS, speaking, and briefly away from Liberia to end this newscast, where with a tour there in Uganda, where it says a 70-year-old Ugandan woman has given birth to twins. An extraordinary feast, her daughter told reporters. Both mother and babies are in good health. conditions and are still under observation at the facility in the capital, Kampala. It says continuing Edward Tamli Sali Safinian usually lives in rural Masaka, somewhere 20 kilometers west of the capital. Only 3 years ago, they gave birth to a daughter after being described as a cursed woman for not having been able to have children before, with her first husband who died in 1992. She had no children of her own. Mrs. Nakuaki's current partner, whom she met in 1996, did not attend the birth, much to her dismay. That does it for K News at 6. The production of News Current Affairs Department here at Kool 91.9 Citycom Liberia Limited. The broadcast being relayed on Liberty Broadcasting Service 105.5, the Greenville Radio Kakata 101.7 of Moses Gibson, the voice of Plebo 93.5, the voice of Jide 88.5. Emmanuel Gabije tour along on the fifth side, William Koluba Howell, alongside Richard Sikime, package our news and bring you the sound system. On behalf of the entire news crew, many thanks for listening. My name is Siaway, Miapue. Good morning from the beautiful city of Painesville.